Thank you, Amanda. Yeah, that's the Swish and the Wiz today. And you know what? In Major League Baseball, always taking twists and turns. And we're going to look at the National League East, and there's Swish. And nobody better to talk about National League Baseball than Nick Swisher. And Jose Carlos Montoyo Diaz, better known as Charlie Montoyo, out as the Blue Jay manager. At 3 months after an extension to his contract after a great year last year, they really wanted to plan him in as the manager. But you know what? Swish, we're not writing the checks, but I think they made the right move at this time of year because this team wasn't playing baseball for Montoyo.
Totally, man. Listen, man, I mean, the Blue Jays were the sexy pick at the beginning of the year, if you're thinking about it, right? I mean, the Blue Jays, they hit the ball harder than any other team in baseball last year. They've got such a great core of young players. They went over, they made some moves this offseason. George Springer's in the lineup doing his thing. So I think with where they are right now, listen, it might not be Charlie's problem, but they definitely needed to get somebody else in there. Cannot be at this moment right now. What are they, 15 and a half games back? That's definitely not where they thought they would be. So listen, I mean, if you look at what happened with the Phillies, the same thing happened with the Phillies. Got rid of Joe Girardi. All of a sudden, Rob Thompson comes in and takes over a little bit, gives a little razzle-dazzle, gets them a little more excited. And that's exactly what happened last night. Blue Jays win a huge game. Zach Wheeler, one of the better pitchers in the National League right now with the Phillies, beat him. I think his final score was 8-2 last night. And we'll see exactly where they're going to take this ship. But right now, listen, I mean, got to be scared of a team like the Toronto Blue Jays because coming down the stretch, when they get things rocking and rolling the way they know how, nobody wants to be playing them in September.
Yeah, I'll tell you, John Schneider drafted as a catcher in 6 years in the Blue Jays organization. I love catchers as managers. They always say the catcher's the one guy that can see the entire field, the entire game. Those are some of the smartest players on the field. They're in every single play. I think this was a great move. But looking at the division, it might be a little too late. They've just fallen so far back. You know, we're getting a little bit closer to your projections, Swish. You expected the Yankees to win 120 games about 3 weeks ago. I said they're about 103. They're up to 104 on my projections now. Red Sox at 88, Rays at 86, Blue Jays at 86, a tie with the Rays. So it's going to be a race for that final wild card. Do you see the Blue Jays breaking through? Do you think they can surpass the Rays and the Red Sox?
Well, I tell you what, man, if they do, they can get it rock and rolling. In my mind, it's extremely possible. No doubt about that. Right there, all you have to do is just look at that model. And right now, you know 86 to 89 wins can go either way. So do I think the Blue Jays could jump the Rays and the Red Sox to get in that wild card? Absolutely, yes. They have the talent. Listen, nobody hits home runs like they do, especially in Toronto. At that ballpark, that place is an absolute launching pad. So if this team gets hot at the right time, they can definitely jump those teams moving forward, and we'll definitely see them in the postseason.
Should be a great race. We'll jump to the big series this weekend. Red Sox and Yankees again. We just saw them in Fenway, and the Yankees won the first two, and it looked like they were going to put their foot on their neck and make a statement, but the Red Sox answered back. They won game 3 and 4 to split the series. Now we got a big one this weekend. They get Nathan Eovaldi back for game 1 against Jordan Montgomery, and they need him back. They got Chris Sale back. He'll go in game 3 against Garrett Cole, and this Red Sox pitching rotation is a mash unit right now. So, boy, Eovaldi and Sale are a welcome sight for relief for the Red Sox. We'll see if they can turn it around. But what do we expect this weekend in Yankee Stadium?
Well, listen, man, I think for the Boston Red Sox, those final 2 games at home this last weekend were absolutely huge, a huge jump start in the right direction. Like you said, I mean, the Yankees kind of came in game 1 and game 2 and really just took care of business. But being able for the Red Sox to pull off that win in game 3 and game 4, the way that they did, obviously huge hits. Alex Verdugo, huge in that series. JD Martinez right here with a home run, absolutely monstrous for them too. Rafael Devers, all-star. Those guys are absolutely mashing right now. But you're right, the Boston Red Sox are a team to be worried about, and the New York Yankees, they just got to continue to keep moving forward. If you're looking at it from the Yankees' perspective, it was only 2 games. Right now, they're up on Boston, 15 and a half games right now. So let's think, hey, it was a tough couple losses. Obviously, they were going for that, looking for 3 out of 4 or maybe even a sweep in Fenway, but they're definitely going to be back in the Bronx. Everybody's going to be watching that series. Anytime Eovaldi's on the mound, Boston definitely has an opportunity. But listen, the way the Yankees have been pitching, 6 All-Stars this year, if you're thinking about it, 3 pitchers, 3 position players for the Yankees, almost unheard of. They're having an absolutely magical season. So if they can stay healthy, keep everything going the way they are. Nasty Nestor's dipped a little bit, but Garrett Cole's also right there. Monty, Tyone, all those guys. Interesting to see how Severino's going to be. But I think moving forward, New York Yankees feel exactly where they need to be. Want to push into the All-Star break. No laxing off. Keep this humongous lead. So when you come back from the break, finish that second half on and look into the World Series.
Yeah, not sure what we're going to get with Severino the rest of the way up, but Luis Castillo goes against the Yankees tonight. He's going to be the #1 guy that teams are looking to go after, and the Yankees right now are the favorite to pick up Luis Castillo. Boy, that would be a great addition to the rotation. We had another big series this weekend, Dodgers and Angels. The Freeway Series, it's going to be great. You know what? Throw the records out because it doesn't matter when these two play. It's a derby game like over the pond that rivals just come up and they step up. You know, the Angels, let's just talk about them for a second. Mike Trout, one of the best players in Major League Baseball. Shohei Ohtani, the MVP last year, the only pitcher hitter in the game. And this team, the playoffs, they've made the playoffs one time in the last 13 years, just once in Trout's career. And again this year, doesn't look like the playoffs are in order. What is going on? Is it something in the clubhouse, the locker room? Is there no leadership there that this team's they just don't have the glue to keep it together?
Well, it's got to be something. Listen, they thought it was Joe Madden. Obviously, it's not that. Since the firing of Joe Madden, the Angels are 11-21. Let me say that to you again. 11-21 since the firing of Joe Madden. So it's not the manager's problem at all. Listen, anytime you have Mike Trout, the best player in the game, and the unicorn, Shohei Ohtani, doing their thing each and every day, you just assume that they're going to have a plus 500 record. Right now, that hasn't exactly worked out for them. I'm interested to see exactly like what's going to go down because the Angels have been pitching better than they have in the past. It's just, you know, the Rendon injury, obviously that's huge. And you would think offensively at the beginning of the season, this was the year when the Angels are going to go to the playoffs, right? This is when we're going to get Mike Trout and Shohei in the postseason. Last year, they even expanded the playoffs to try and get them in. Still couldn't make it in. As an Angels fan, it has to be so frustrating going out each and every night and watching Mike Trout 3 to 4 hits, Ohtani 2 to 3 hits, right? Like these guys are hitting home runs all day long. It's almost like the Ohtani Trout train versus everybody else. So we got to find some help there for sure. We definitely got to get the Angels rocking and rolling. I'm not sure this year is the year for them. But listen, moving forward, Angels got to find something. Like you said, maybe it's the leadership in that locker room, right? I mean, like, listen, Trout and those guys have been there for a long time, haven't panned out. So, hey, you know, we got to figure it out, man.
Yeah, you got to figure out how to win. That's one thing. So leadership is big in the clubhouse. And you played the game. What was the best leaders in the clubhouse on teams that you played for?
Yeah, totally, man. I mean, probably the best leader, probably to ever play the game of baseball, Derek Jeter, #2, right? Can't wait for the captain to come out. Really excited to watch that doc. That's going to be absolutely fantastic. Listen, not the most emotional leader out of all of them, but listen, there were plenty of times when he pulled me behind closed doors and told me, hey, this is how things work here. This is how things are done. We expect this. And I think, you know, I don't know, man. I mean, you know, Mike Trout seems like a super even keel guy. Maybe we can get a little fire for him. I mean, you saw him the other day when that pitcher was kind of tipping a little bit and he was in the outfield being like, hey, man, you're tipping your pitches, you know? So, you know, if somebody's seeing stuff from all the way in center field, there can be some adjustments made. Angels always struggled with pitching there for a minute. 2020, they took all their draft picks and got pitchers out of that. Lorenzen's doing great today. Detmers is doing, he's pitching tonight. So I feel like they've gotten a little bit of help on that pitching side of things. Get a little more offense, might help them out in the future.
Yeah, 2-game series. They face Clayton Kershaw and Julio Urias in the series. May not be easy. Let's go to our play of the night, Thursday night play. My play, I'll go first, Swish. I'm going with the White Sox and Twins under 8.5 runs tonight. Johnny Cueto, 36-year-olds. He has really been pitching some of his best baseball. A 2.91 ERA, 8 scoreless in his last outing against Sonny Gray. And Gray has been just as good, a 3.03 ERA. He had a great May and June where his ERA was under 2 both months. That hit around a little bit here in July. I think he's due for another great outing. So my best bet, White Sox Twins under 8.5. What do you got for us tonight?
Wow, man. Hey, bro, I haven't exactly been as locked in as you on these picks, but tonight, bro, I'm going to turn it around tonight, bro. I'm trolling trending pitchers, baby. And tonight I got Tyler Anderson, Mr. Duck, on the mound for the Dodgers in St. Louis against the Cardinals, right? The Cardinals came out last night, huge, right? Pujols goes deep. All of a sudden, here come the Dodgers. Freddie Freeman doing his thing. All the guys stepping up the way that they need. So in my mind, I'm going to go with the Dodgers over the Cardinals tonight. Tyler Anderson has been absolutely fantastic this year. 9-1 on the season, a 1.03 whip. So, man, he's not letting a whole lot of runners on base. So I'm hoping the Dodger offense is going to be able to take control tonight and pull off that victory.
Thanks, Swish. Hey, great talking with you today, and we will look forward to talking next week. Have a great weekend. Back to Amanda in the studio.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.